Getting reports from all 5 boroughs. More Hydra troopers with fangs. Talk about making a bad thing worse.
I've tried tracking down what they're up to.
Find anything?
Nothing that could still speak.
I may know somebody who could help.
No offense. This isn't exactly friendly neighborhood stuff. Not sure your contacts will be much help.
He's not that friendly.
Who?
He's also not one of the bad guys.
Who exactly?
A physician of sorts. Look, do you want to figure this out or not?
Morbius.
Blade.
You've met? Gotta admit, I've never seen a vampire feed on another vampire.
I felt it.
One time. I bit you one time. It wasn't fun for me either. You taste like an old barbell.
There's a cat fight joke in here somewhere, but I can't figure it out. Look, Dr. Morbius, we need your help. Someone is turning Hydra troopers into vampires. We don't know why or what they want.
According to the creature I just ate, they're after my research. I can tarry no longer. I must return to my lab before they...
You're going nowhere.
Don't have a hissy fit. It was right in front of me. Maybe we can help each other out. So, where is this lab?
You get used to the stench.
I never do.
Wait, where? You were right, Doc. We shouldn't have tarried.
I see you've located the doctor. I hope he's feeling cooperative.
I think we're all on the same page here. Common enemy, the greater good. Everyone gets it, right?
Of course.
We'll see.
Okay, that was awesome.
These themes are hardly worthy of being classified as vampires. Not that I'm overly protective of the title.
That didn't stop you from feeding on them.
You know as well as I do, Blade. Your thirst, my hunger. No one fighted for so long.
Some of us tried harder than others.
Oh, you think I haven't tried to end this?
I think you don't mind that you failed.
Maybe you don't understand my path, Blade. I have surmounted one challenge after another just to reach this point.
I know what you've been trying to do. It has nothing to do with stopping thirst.
Where my blood fails me, I have no choice but to feed. But that doesn't mean I can't change at all.
Hate to break up the moment, but we should probably do the bad guys, right? Ooh, that really looked like it hurt.
You were born with the greatest gift any vampire could ever hope for, Blade. To see the sun with your own eyes.
None of this is a gift. Maybe that's what you don't understand about me.
Almost feel like I'm intruding here, but...
I haven't seen anything to be concerned about.
Okay, that was pretty cool.
I doubt they were expecting such resistance. All my work lost.
thought he was one of the good guys.
I said he was not one of the bad guys.
Knowledge has no inherent morality. This is science.
Tell it to them.
They'll be fine. Eventually.
What exactly are you doing here, Dr. Morbius?
Research. A gamma serum flows through the blood of these Hydra soldiers, augmenting their capabilities. It inspired me to concoct a prototype sample, a serum of my own. I thought it might dampen the effects of the sunlight on my abilities, but its protective qualities were far more effective than I expected.
Whoa. Are we talking...
Daywalker in a vial. Morbius, tell me it doesn't work.
Not yet. The prototype sample needs time to fully mature. But it's gone, along with all my notes. I'll have to start over.
Looks like they're back for seconds.
Nah, they have the sample. They want to take out the only competition in town.
Then we shall dissuade them.
Cannot allow them to destroy my work. Protect my equipment.
You left out some important details of your research, Doc.
Some things are better left unsaid, but it was all necessary.
I knew you couldn't be trusted, Morbius. Hydra or not, this is wrong.
The work Hydra has done with gamma injections was too profound to ignore.
So you've been using them as some kind of guinea pigs? Sounds a little unethical, Doc.
As opposed to the gentle treatment you and your friends give them.
Big difference.
If my research here can help you defeat Hydra, and I've removed some of them from the front lines in the process, I don't see the harm.
Heroes usually stand against human experimentation and false imprisonment. Because it's, you know, evil.
Rarely have I ever been accused of being a hero. But your words aren't lost on me.
I don't think you've changed at all, Morbius. You're just lucky I'm working with the Sons again.
As opposed to what?
Me leaving you here with your experiments.
Maybe we can all hug this out later.
No further abomination.
Okay, it's cool. Morbius is with us now.
With us?
You would bring a vampire into the Abbey?
Well, he's not a vampire. Not exactly.
If he was, he'd be dust.
He became this way because of an experiment gone wrong, not a bite from a vamp. He's his own master, right, Doc?
If I may, there are few judges of character better than Spider-Man.
Back me up here, Blade.
As much as I hate to admit it, we could probably use his help. This once.
Hunter, was it? Thank you for not making a bigger deal about my arrival. I know my presence unnerves many.
Peter and Blade vouched for you. You are lucky that I trust them more than I distrust you. Do not waste this chance.
I see. It's good to know where I stand, even if that is atop thin ice.
Help me understand what you bring to the team that I cannot get elsewhere.
I am the world's foremost authority on vampire physiology. Blade knows a great deal about vampire rituals, habits, and social order, but he doesn't understand their biology.
Why should that matter?
In a sense, you could say Blade can take a vampire apart, but he can't put one back together.
I do not want to put vampires back together.
Oh, of course not. Let me put it like this.
If you understand the structure of an organism, you'll know its weak points, where to push so it falls apart. This is what I offer you.
Then let me officially welcome you to the Midnight Suns.
You will not regret this. Now, can you show me where we keep the prisoners? I would like to feast. What? Only kidding. I think you'll be happy to know that I've actually already started researching vampire biology.
That sounds like good news.
Unfortunately, I also have bad news. I've been tinkering with a prototype gamma serum that suppresses the effects of sunlight on vampiric membranes. The vampires have taken that from me.
Then we must take it back.
That is why I'm here. And I would love to get back to that research. Unless you have further need of me.
I want to know a little more about you first.
Naturally. I am an open book.
I've heard you called a living vampire. What does that mean?
It means that unlike most vampires, I have a pulse.
How is this possible?
Most vampires are tied to the supernatural realm. They are undead creatures. My gifts are a boon of science. I am wholly unique in that way. Quite literally a freak of nature.
Who were you before you became a vampire?
I was born with a rare, degenerative blood condition. My disease would have proven fatal if I had not taken matters into my own hands and experimented on my body using vampire bat DNA. I cured myself, but there were side effects.
You seem to know Blade and Spider-Man well. What is your impression of them?
When I first became the living vampire, I struggled with my baser instincts. It took me a while to maintain control over my appetite. Spider-Man and Blade were the first two heroes I encountered, and they protected many innocent people from my wrath.
You mean they fought you?
Yes. But I am grateful because they encouraged me to become a better man. Though I wish Blade's approach hadn't been nearly so ferocious.
I would like to know more about your capabilities.
Like a traditional vampire, I possess enhanced strength, speed, and acute senses. An accelerated healing factor allows me to bounce back from otherwise mortal injuries. And while I cannot fly in the traditional sense, I have the psionic ability to glide over great distances.
Do you share other vampiric weaknesses?
One of the advantages of being a living vampire is that I do not have those Achilles heels. I could drink holy water all day, and a silver bullet stings like a lead one. One slight exception is daylight. I do not burn under the sun, but my eyes are sensitive to the light, and my powers are somewhat dampened during the daytime.
Do you have to consume blood like any other vampire?
Regrettably, not only do I need to consume human blood, I crave it. But you do not need to worry. I keep my cravings in check these days, and only feed on those who prey on others.
Never mind. I will let you settle in.
Happy to talk anytime.
Did you tire of listening to Dr. Strange's stories? The ones where multi-tentacled old ones feasted on cavemen?
Nah, actually that sounds up my alley. I just needed some fresh air. Plus, Robbie likes to crank the volume on his video games, and I don't like loud noises.
Right. Your costume is sensitive to powerful sonics.
You know, it's funny. My other has protected me from so many things over the years. Sometimes pushes away more than just bullets.
Maybe you scare a few people, but at least you are protecting them. Dead people cannot say thank you.
Honestly, most of the time, the people I save are too scared to say anything.
Fear can be incredibly disabling.
That's one way to put it. I should probably carry a backpack full of fresh underwear for all the bladders I disable.
So your other's appearance is functional, but is it necessary?
Maybe not. I'm not the only person who bonded with my symbiote. The suit often changes appearance with each new host.
Have you ever considered adopting a new look?
I could probably change my appearance, but the truth is, I like being intimidating. It makes me feel powerful.
I am learning that the man behind the mask is less intimidating.
It sounds a bit like an after-school special, but thanks, Hunter. Just don't tell Parker. Or, actually, don't tell anyone.
You and your symbiote have an interesting relationship.
It's simultaneously the strangest relationship I've ever had, as well as the most comforting. Thanks for talking about it, Hunter. I don't think everyone inside would take the time to understand how I tick. Now that the Hydra vampires have my prototype sample, I've no doubt they'll attempt to create their own sunlight serum.
Mass produce it, more like.
Where would Hydra vampires go to mass-produce sunlight serum?
Somewhere familiar to them.
How about a Hydra facility that makes the gamma goop they put in their blood?
Yes, I'm gonna go with exactly like that.
How about one sending a distress signal about a vampire invasion? Might be a good place to start.
Mass production of my prototype sample is a nightmare come to
You ever regret creating your sample?
Of course, but humankind didn't split the atom just to create bombs. In the right hands, science is a force for prosperity.
What about the wrong hands?
When I am done with them, they will not have hands.
Has Hydra turned upon itself?
No, this is biology. It is a vampire's nature to betray the living.
Excuse me?
Oh, but not mine. I differ on a biological level.
Relax. It was a joke.
Sin. I should have known you were behind this.
Hold them off. We need more time. Go. Feed upon them. Let their veins bleed rivers.
If we can disable those terminals, at the very least we can slow their efforts to reproduce the serum.
But we need to protect the server to access the data ourselves.
Correct.
And I thought technology was supposed to make our lives easier.
I'm sure you've all realized what will happen if these vampiric Hydra forces lose their vulnerability to the sun.
A lot of innocent civilians are going to pay the price, and we can't allow that.
Your sincere concern for the guiltless is inspiring.
And your lack of empathy for them is disturbing. At least my mother knows how to keep her minions in check.
As much as she'd like to pretend, Sin doesn't hold the same sway as her grandfather, much less Lilith.
Does it matter? She has enough resources at her disposal to be a problem.
Prototype. It's here. We must recover it.
One more batch. Secure it. Quickly now.
So we finally have the opportunity to settle our grievances personally.
You're surprisingly enthusiastic for someone marching towards their end.
And you are shockingly confident for someone who dares tread on the work of a superior intellect. This facility is quite impressive. If only it weren't being used for such twisted ambitions.
That's Hydra in a nutshell.
You know nothing of the great works achieved by Hydra. This will be our vengeance.
I've heard that before, too.
Soon, the forces of Hydra will rule the day as well as the night. None will stand in their way.
It's important they see you maintain an inspirational outlook in the face of overwhelming defeat.
I'll take that.
Your prototype sample?
Indeed. And now to destroy the sunlight serum. But it's not all here, is it?
Of course not. We manufactured so much. All transported off-site before you even arrived. This is the final batch. A reserve. I am a wolf in the night. The yapping of a mangy cur does not concern me.
Tell me where you brought the serum.
Watch that temper, little mutt. You don't want to lash out and bite the ones you love.
Tell me!
Where else, you pathetic counterfeit? I delivered it to the Lord of Vampires.
You don't know what you've done.
Oh, but I do. Dracula, my master, has enough sunlight serum to supply an army. And there's nothing you can do to stop him.
Hey, Hunter. I saw Morbius heading toward Hunter's Folly. He looked distressed. Can you make sure he's not about to lose control? If I go out there, it won't be to talk.
I'd like to be alone for a bit. I came out here to be alone, Hunter.
Are you sure being alone is a good idea right now?
Blade sent you to check on me, didn't he? Probably didn't want to come himself because he thought we'd just end up fighting.
Is he wrong?
Of course not. And I can't promise we won't end up trading blows before the night is through, either.
If you truly wish to challenge me, I will not back down.
I've seen you in battle. I'm probably better off going after Dracula alone.
Then focus your anger at him.
They stole my work, Hunter. They perverted it for their own designs. There is an army of vampires ready to cut loose on the world, and they're all immune to sunlight. I did that. Not Dracula.
You could not have known that Dracula would get his hands on your sample.
No. But I should have foreseen that he'd want it. That he would come for it.
We will fix this. Together.
You're right. Wallowing in self-pity will accomplish nothing. We must prepare to act. Oh, and Hunter. I'm sorry. My behavior tonight was beyond the pale. I wish you had not seen me like this.
Doctor, my mother turned against me and started building an army. I understand betrayal. You have no need to apologize.
You are too kind. I really am glad you came. Instead of Blade. Well, I would love a few quiet moments to meditate on what we've said. Unless you need something else.
Enjoy the quiet.
I'll just be here, brooding. Checking in on me again. You really don't need to worry, Hunter.
On the contrary, I would like to know more about your work on this serum.
I'll answer what I can.
How well do you know Sin?
Not long ago, she approached me and offered to fund my research. I tend to keep a low profile, so the fact that she was capable of tracking me down told me she was a woman of considerable resources and connections. Though if I'd known one of those connections was Dracula himself, I would not have worked with her.
Your contempt for Sin seems personal. What is that about?
She manipulated me. I created this serum, hoping it could be used as a cure. Sin stole that work for Hydra, who knows only harm.
Sin works with Hydra. What is her connection to Dracula?
That is still a bit of a mystery to me. Sin covets leadership, but she is also drawn to men of great power. Dracula likely believes he is manipulating Sin for his own gain. Sin undoubtedly feels the same.
I should let you go.
I'll just be here, brooding.
Getting word of another attack. Vampires in Central Park. Right before dawn. Can you imagine?
Dawn?
I knew this was coming, just not so soon.
The city is in enough chaos.
We'll handle it. No problem.
Ah, Blade. Ever the optimist, hmm? Look at them. The sun will be up any minute now. They don't seem to care.
Then let's make them care. Just when people were beginning to feel safe in Central Park again.
Yes, I'm afraid they'll have to cancel their picnics and ball games for today.
I'm sure they're more worried about surviving.
As they should be. I know this must pain you, Blade, to see your turf overrun like this. All that work.
Kinda seems like you're trying to piss me off.
Am I that transparent? In honesty, I heard you fight harder when you're in.
I'm fond of that tactic myself, Doctor. As you can see, he doesn't always buy it.
Or maybe I only play along when I feel like it. Without sunlight to fall back on, my job is about to get a lot harder.
You seem to have plenty of other tools, or toys, at your disposal.
Nothing scares a vampire more than the sun. It sure motivated you.
Fair point. They do not fear the sun.
give them something to fear.
No. Allow me!
So, the wait is finally over. How long has it been since you felt the sun on your face, Dracula?
Centuries. The better part of a millennium, in fact. And thanks to your unlikely ally, Dr. Morbius, I will bask in the dawn for eternity. I cannot allow that. My children will finally know true freedom. The power to rule the day just as easily as we rule the night.
You rule the night? Maybe it's some rat hole in Transylvania, but New York is my town.
It's all about to change. Just as it began, your legacy ends with the rising sun.
To think I've come full circle. My salvation and my curse all began with you.
A common refrain from vampires who haven't yet accepted their profound gift.
Not everyone wants to feed on the innocent. You never did understand.
I understood perfectly well. I just don't indulge in weakness.
I am impressed.
That's one hell of a move.
Lost children, you disappoint us, betray us, shed the blood of your own.
No one hurts you more than family.
Join us in the light. We won't ask again.
You won't. But not for the reason you think.
I don't understand. Why aren't you?
To mass-produce the serum, you diluted my sample. Yes, it protected you from the sunlight, but each use of your powers burned more of it away. You are, as they say, running on fumes. And when those expire, so do you.
This isn't over.
It is, for now. Unless you'd care to stay for a walk in the park.
Back to the sewer, where he belongs.
Are you disappointed we didn't destroy him?
Nah, he always comes back. But knowing he's got to live with that humiliation almost makes it worth knowing you.
You know, there are a surprising number of vampires in New York. A lot of them are cabbies.
Doctor, you get all your powers from bats, correct?
Yes, from several members of the Desmodontinae subfamily, to be exact.
Does that mean you sleep upside down like a bat?
No. And for the record, I don't sleep in a coffin just because I'm a vampire.
How do you sleep?
Most of the time, poorly. I really needed that after our last battle. Oh, I'm sorry. Am I in your way? Seems like you can't get enough of me. I must be fun. I should try blending blood into a smoothie next time. Congratulations, Hunter. Dracula's vampires suffered a major loss today.
You deserve the credit, Doctor. You did good work today.
The sunlight serum is so diluted it no longer poses a threat. The vampires have been cast back into the night, where they belong. I don't think I can properly express my relief. Hunter, if you had not been there to lean on throughout all this, I do not know how I would have survived.
This plague of vampires put stress on the whole team. We supported each other.
You are too kind. I'm glad I found such a welcoming family of heroes. And about that, Hunter, you should know that I will remain committed to the Midnight Sun's greater mission. You all helped me in my time of need. It is only fair that I return the favor.
Your support is much appreciated.
Marvelous. But before we move on, we must make one final decision regarding the sunlight serum.
We?
Well, yes. I value your guidance. My prototype sample is no more, but I still possess my research notes. I could continue my experiments in the hopes of curing myself and maybe others, unless the risk of it falling into the wrong hands seems too great.
If a cure is possible, you should continue to look for it. If someone tries to exploit your research again, we will be here to stop them.
I was hoping you would feel that way. I can't wait to get back to work. After this business with Lilith is settled, of course. Thank you for your help, Hunter.
What were you reading, Doctor? One of those political spy thrillers Captain Rogers is always heads down in?
It's actually a medical journal on bispecific antibodies and the treatment of hematologic malignancies. Just some light reading.
We have all been working hard. You deserve some R&R.
Deserve? Based on my many past sins, I deserve nothing.
Whoa, where did that come from?
I'm sorry. I've been told that I tend toward the melodramatic. In truth, I've been in survival mode so long, I don't know where to find my own off switch.
Just know your limits. When you burn a candle to its ends, the light quickly fades.
Your concern is noted, Hunter. I won't overdo it. Well, I should get back to my studies. Medical journals do not read themselves, but I'm working on that.